Hello and welcome to Inside Politics. I'm Anastasiya Lavrina. The Middle East stands once again at a defining moment. In the aftermath of the recent ceasefire in Gaza, the world is closely watching whether fragile calm can turn into lasting peace. Questions of security, accountability and humanitarian access dominate international discussions. And Israel remains at the heart of this complex equation. At the same time, Israel's diplomacy extends far beyond its immediate neighborhood. Here, in the South Caucasus, Azerbaijan has become one of Israel's most valued and strategic partners, a bridge connecting the Middle East, Europe, and Central Asia. From energy cooperation and defense dialogue to new projects in green technology and logistics, the partnership between two countries reflects a shared vision of stability and progress. Today, we explore these dynamics with His Excellency Ronen Krausz, Ambassador of Israel to Azerbaijan, to understand not only the latest developments in Gaza, but also how regional transformations across Eurasia are reshaping the landscape of peace, diplomacy, and strategic connectivity. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining Inside Politics. Well, you have served here before as a diplomatic advisor in the Embassy of Israel in Azerbaijan and now return as Israel's ambassador in such a very important time for both countries, for the Middle East region and for the South Caucasus. So how does it feel to come back?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be back. It has been 10 years since I left. I assumed the position of Deputy Ambassador between the years of 2010 and 2015. 5 fruitful years, which I remember very fondly, both professionally and personally. And when I had the opportunity to come back, to return as ambassador, I took the advantage of applying, and I was very fortunate to come back, and I'm very, very happy to be back in Baku. It has been incredible to see the tremendous development of the city and the country since I arrived. Here in Baku, there are areas which I remember them, even here where we are located, where the studio is located, which used to be the Black City, and now it's the White City. And also regionally, the stance of Azerbaijan, the important role that Azerbaijan is playing in the region, the development of of course, the peace agreement, hopefully peace agreement with Armenia, the victories that Azerbaijan has gained, and this is a good opportunity to wish my best regards and to Azerbaijan, who will celebrate the Victory Day in 2 days from today. This has been a great achievement, which has opened up new venues and arenas of cooperation, both regionally and internationally. And as the ambassador of Israel, I hope that Israel will also have the opportunity to participate in some of these achievements as well in the future.
Well, indeed, there are a lot of opportunities now for both countries. And if I'm not mistaken, you previously also headed the Eurasian department at Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, closely coordinating the issues related to our region as well. So from that perspective, what makes Azerbaijan a uniquely strategic partner for Israel?
So indeed, I was heading what we call the Caucasus and Euro-Asian department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, overlooking the countries in the Caucasus and also in the Central Asian area. And in that position, we have looked at the possibilities of seeing how Israel can integrate into the region as a whole. And I believe that the growing position and the partnership with Azerbaijan will allow Israel also to enjoy some of the benefits that will come with the stabilization that has been created in the region and to come with some of its strength, which are basically in the areas of agriculture, water, innovation, technologies, cybersecurity, and so forth. And I think that as Azerbaijan's growing role in the region, in connectivity and in broadcast or having a stability or increasing stability in the region, which also allows its close strategic partner, Israel, also to be joining into these internships. I think that we'll be seeing more and more initiatives and projects, joint projects in the coming future.
Mr. Ambassador, you're a very experienced diplomat and you served here already, as you said. So I want to ask a question more in details. How do you assess the post-conflict transformation in Azerbaijan of the liberated areas, the new projects, the transport links you already mentioned, and the negotiation process between two countries, Armenia and Azerbaijan?
So as I said, the last time I visited Azerbaijan was 10 years ago. It was before the liberated territories returned to the hands of Azerbaijan. So I didn't have the opportunity to visit Karabakh beforehand. But since I arrived 3.5 months ago, I had the pleasure of visiting Karabakh twice. And to witness in my own eyes the incredible development of the liberated territories. It was just incredible to see the amount of work which was implemented, and the infrastructure that were built, the roads that were paved, the railroads that were put in place, the housing projects, the economic advancements. It was just incredible to see, and I think that by doing so, alongside with promoting the peace process with Armenia, which will bring more and more stability to both countries, not only to Azerbaijan, but also to Armenia, I think that at the end, what the world will gain, and definitely the region will gain, is a very well needed stability that unfortunately we're lacking today in many other areas, especially also in our region, in the Middle East. And I think that there are some very good lessons to be learned from the way that it has been carried and from the advancement that have been achieved. And again, looking into the future, I think that there is also a potential for Israeli companies to participate in some of the projects that are being carried in the area, especially in the main fields where Israel has expertise, agriculture technologies, water technologies, cyber security, and many others. And again, coming from the Middle East and experiencing for many, many years a state of war which has not been very easy for any of the population that lives in the Middle East, and looking at the region of the Caucasus and seeing that there is a future, there is a way out, there is a solution which can be put on the ground. This is a very positive example, and I hope and wish that we in the Middle East will also have the ability and the opportunity to enjoy such a development.
Ambassador, Middle East, the situation around Gaza, one of the key questions that worried the whole international community at the moment. So, following the ceasefire agreement, how is the situation developing on the ground? And from Israel's perspective, can this truce be considered effective so far?
So the ceasefire is in place, but it is very, very fragile, because unfortunately Israel has to deal with a terrorist organization that needs to comply and to respect the ceasefire, and this has been extremely challenging. Since the ceasefire came into place, we have experienced numerous times of violations by the Hamas terrorist organization. So far, the first phase of the peace agreement has not been completed. Yes, we have received all of our alive hostages, but we're still waiting for 7 more of our victims, which are still being held in the hands of Hamas. And this has been a crucial stage which has to be completed very, very soon. Without that, there will not be a continuation. And then coming into the second phase, we will have to see Hamas ending their role in Gaza. We cannot allow a terrorist organization to sit on our borders and project threat towards the state of Israel while the ideology doesn't change. And I think that the harm and the problematic attitude of Hamas is not only towards the Israelis. not towards the state of Israel, but also towards Palestinians who live in Gaza and wish to see a better future. And having Hamas around will not allow that. So I hope that the peace process, the ceasefire will continue, and that we will reach the second phase with good conscience for both sides, and that Hamas will be dismantled and will be taken away from any rule or any possibility to have any kind of charge on the Gaza Strip. And by that, both Palestinians and the State of Israel will have a better future to look for.
Well, Donald Trump, American leaders stay quite optimistic about the future of the situation, believing that the ceasefire will last forever, even sometimes he's talking about that. So how do you think, who are the main guarantors of the stability? Like previously you said, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the peace became possible only when two sides agreed to have a direct talks without intervention from outside. How is the situation going in your region? Do you believe that there is someone else, United States, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, who should contribute? Or it's issues to be resolved on the ground?
So first of all, the contribution of the United States, headed by President Trump, has been tremendous. And I think that without their support and their initiative, it wouldn't have happened. We have seen it also here in the Caucasus. The summit on the 8th of August has been a milestone, and thanks to the involvement of President Trump, I think that it also allowed to move forward with the solution. The same goes for the issues in the Middle East. I think that a kind of coalition, maybe coalition is a big word, but a kind of or gathering or unity between various forces who will join together in order to promote a solution, a truthful solution supported by the international community is a well-deserved and well-needed procedure. Israel supports that. We would like to see more actors being involved in this procedure, but only actors that can contribute to the process, not ones that might interrupt and divert the solution towards different angles which are not so desired. And again, I think that the influence that the United States and also European actors on this ability to promote a long-lasting solution to the issues that we are facing towards Gaza and the Palestinian population there will be well-deserved and successful in the future.
Ambassador, I guess talking about the contribution of the international forces, you mean the UN mandate, which is being under discussion at the moment, the mission which will be agreed, but still some experts are staying quite skeptical about this because the consensus to be achieved by 5 permanent member states of the United Nations Security Council is quite complicated, especially because China and Russia oppose any kind of US intervention for the future, because there is a fear that US-led mission will definitely have more pro-Israeli position. Therefore, do you believe that such mission agreement on that establishment is still achievable within the upcoming weeks?
I think that we should not let it go away. I think that we should put all of our efforts to find some kind of a solution. If it will not be via a UN resolution, it should be via a different mechanism. I think that involvement of the international community, actors who are willing to contribute and to bring a real solution, a real and peaceful solution, in any kind of format. I think that this will be the way to move forward. Israel wishes to live in peace with its neighbors. We have been in a state of war for too many years. We have suffered too many terrorist organizations' attacks on its soil. We have lost too many of our sons and daughters to wars and to terrorist attacks. And any attempt which will bring actors in order to promote peace and stability in our region should be cherished, should be encouraged, and should be promoted as much as possible.
Then we're coming back to the Azerbaijan's possible role in this post-conflict situation, reconstruction, and etc. As Azerbaijan's official position is that we are still waiting the UN mandate to be defined in the upcoming days. How do you see the role of Azerbaijan? And still there is another country, which is Turkey, which was also invited by the United States to contribute in the post-conflict.
So as for the role of Azerbaijan, we totally respect Azerbaijan's sovereignty and decision-making procedures, and I think that the fact that they are still the country and the regime still looks into the issue and studies it and thoroughly examines it, I think that it's totally acceptable and understandable. As for Turkey, as you mentioned, again, I have said that we need in this task force, in this coalition or gathering of forces, actors who are willing to contribute and to give way for positive results. And as long as we see actors that are doing so, I think that it will be, they will be welcomed. We will need to see what is the role of, you mentioned Turkey, maybe others, if the role and their willingness to contribute to the procedure falls under these criteria. As of now, we haven't seen that, and Israel was very vocal and very direct in saying that for now we do not wish for Turkey's involvement. But if we will see a shift in the way that the issue is being addressed by Turkey's leading authorities, there might be a change, but for now, we're not there yet.
One of the key elements of that Donald Trump's Gaza ceasefire agreement is delivery of the humanitarian aid to Gaza, but still several checkpoints, cross points are closed. So what is the intention of Israel in this particular direction?
So we're seeing more and more humanitarian aid entering Gaza from various checkpoints.
It is happening now already.
It is happening now. Unfortunately, the footage that we're seeing coming from Gaza are quite disturbing. From incidents in which Hamas is taking violent control of aid and taking it for its own use. We have seen that, and this is something that is quite troubling. We have also seen very disturbing footage of Hamas slaughtering and chasing some of Palestinians who were accused in cooperating with Israel, and this footage has been published on the social media and has been extremely troubling and very hard to see. So again, I think that it brings us back to the same point which I have mentioned before. Hamas cannot stay in Gaza as a ruling force, because the implications of having or continuing to have a terrorist organization controlling both the civilian life, which we hope that will come back at some point to Gaza, but civilian life and also the security measurements in Gaza, while not allowing the Palestinian population to receive the humanitarian aid which is being supplied by the international community and Israel as well. And at the same time, chasing, killing, murdering Palestinian civilians in the streets of Gaza, this cannot continue. And this has to stop as soon as possible, and Hamas should be removed from any involvement in the rule of Gaza Strip.
Well, Ambassador, thank you. Thank you so much for joining Inside Politics. It was a real pleasure to host you today in our studio.
Thank you very much, and allow me to congratulate you for your first anniversary of the news channel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, in a rapidly changing world, diplomacy remains the most powerful instrument for building understanding and stability. From the challenges in the Middle East to the new realities in the South Caucasus, every conversation brings us closer to seeing how regional and global interests intervene. Thank you for watching Inside Politics on A News. I'm Anastasiya Lavrina, and see you next time.